So if you remember, we found the measure of angle D using the tangent inverse in our last example. Now you may be looking at this going, hey wait, if I know two sides of a triangle, I really know all three, don't I? So if I'm looking at a right triangle, the whole Pythagorean theorem still works out. So 5 squared plus 12 squared. We could calculate then this. What this leads us to is if we know 2 out of the 3 sides, we could technically calculate the third and then use any, that is, any of the trig ratios to figure out the angle measure. Because remember, if we know opposite and hypotenuse, which we now know, or if we know the adjacent and the hypotenuse, which we also now know, or we know the opposite and adjacent, which is what we used last time, then we can figure out the angle. And that's fine as long as you have enough accuracy within your side lengths. So how this is currently set up, all of these are integers, 5, 12, and 13, right? It does mean, though, in the case like, let's say maybe the 12 was really the hypotenuse, that would change things up a bit, and that would mean that this side over here, if you use the Pythagorean theorem, would be 10.908, which is fine. It'd be a little less accurate to use this 10.908 because it's a calculated value, but you could. Preferentially, that is, what we'd prefer you do, is use the given side, so in this case the 5 and 12 when you're finding the angle. So if I wanted to find angle D, then I would use the, well, this is the adjacent, and this is the hypotenuse. So adjacent hypotenuse, I would use the cosine. So I know that the cosine of whatever angle D is equal to adjacent 5 over 12. To find angle D, I take the inverse, that is the, in this case, the cosine inverse of 5 over 12. And if I resort to my calculator, so if you listen carefully, you'll hear some clicking in the background. If I take the cosine inverse of 5 divided by 12, I'm going to get 65.37 or 65 degrees, just like that. Key thing, if they do give you side lengths, use them. They're going to be more accurate. But can you use the Pythagorean theorem and actually use the calculated value? If you felt like it, sure. What this does mean is technically you can use any of sine, cosine, or tangent when you're finding an angle, as long as you're willing to calculate the other side.